Hi, Carol here, and a warm welcome to my craft room. I am just placing some washi tape on those magnets in my Misties. I wanted to use my Misty on this card, and I saw this on YouTube, and I thought it was a wonderful idea. So I grabbed some of my washi tape. I'm placing two in the mini and two in the large Misties that I have. You just fold over your washi tape over top of the magnet and then cut it off, and you have that wonderful pull tab so that if they ever get stuck you have something to pull them apart. Isn't this just a wonderful idea? I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. I'm glad somebody else did. So excuse me. So I'm setting my Misty to the left there, and I'm getting out my 2008 Fire Brigade set. It's a card, a thank you card for my husband's niece who's a firefighter, and I'll explain everything later on in the video. And here I'm thinking, should I do my card with white cardstock or black? And it's an interactive card, and I thought I'm going to use my 110-pound black cardstock. It's cut to 5.5 by 6.5 inches, and then I'm going to have a piece fold on this side, and I'm going to have another piece fold on the inside of that flap, and I'll show you that later on. I'm taking out my Stampin' Up! Score and cutting board, and I'm going to use the score tool, and I'm going to score it at 1/8 inch. So it's going to have a 1/16 of an inch score as well, so that you have a nice gusset to work with in case you add, different items inside your flap card. And I just love this idea. I have to score it on each side because the cardstock is so thick. So I ran it down twice. So you want to score it at 1/8 and then bring it into 1/16, and you have yourself a nice little gusset. And it works wonderfully when you're adding different pages to your card. And so this is 5.5 by 6.5. I zoomed in here to show you. I'm taking my Teflon bone folder and I am folding it in on the 1/16 of an inch, and then I'm going to grab it over on the 1/8 of an inch and make a nice crisp fold on that. And I love the look of this. Instead of just having one crease, I love to have two on my cards. Here I'm showing you the gusset, the small 1/16 of an inch gusset that you're going to have. And I'm going to take some score tape, which is 1/16 of an inch score tape, and I'm going to put two strips down the side because it's 1/8 of an inch, right? And so I'm going to add that, and the double-sided tape is very secure. I use it a lot when I make albums, and this card is kind of like a flip album card, so to speak. It doesn't have any rhyme or reason to the size. I just started with the 5.5 by 6.5 inch base, and then I'll add whatever size I want to flip on each side. I love this type of gatefold card, so to speak. It's not a gatefold because the gates don't meet. But I like the fact that you can turn the pages and then add different elements to each page, and you get different techniques to try out. And I really enjoy this style of card making. And it had no rhyme or reason to make it at the beginning. I just knew I wanted the base at 5.5 by 6.5, and I would go from there. As many pages as I wanted to flip depended on what techniques I was going to incorporate into the card, and I think you're really going to like it. So what I'll do is, because of this bronchial pneumonia thing I have going, I worked on this all day for part one, can you believe it? And then I'm going to, off and on, and then I'm going to do tomorrow part two and finish it up for you. So what I'm doing here is I'm placing this in on the, so that I have the 1/16 inch gusset. So the 1/8 of an inch has the tape on it, and I'm going to make sure it's even. And then we're going to get out some magnets, and we're going to put a little magnet to close this. So right there, I'm going to have it like that. I was trying to decide which way to go, but I like it with the large size across and the smaller size on the inside, and then we're going to cover it. And it was really enjoyable to use this set. And now I'm going to take some Post-it 8.5 by 11 inch sheet, and I'm going to mask off these images, so I need to stamp it on the Post-it note, and you get this at any stationery store. So here I am using My Favorite Things Hybrid Black Licorice ink. I like this ink because it's Copic friendly, and the one thing about this set that I realized after I got it out, that it's very sketchy, like a lot of lines are in it. You don't have a lot of open space. So that's why I'm just showing you the Post-it here. And it's repositionable Post-it paper. So that means it doesn't have a real, it's sticky, but it's not too sticky to where you can't get it off the sheet, a sheet of paper. Now we're going to place the small magnet in the center. I just eyeball it because you're going to cover it with paper. So you put the positive and the negative on each side, and then you peel off the, I'm just trying to get as close as possible there to being even. I was measuring it with that white sheet of paper. And so then you just take, I used a Stampin' Up! Glue dot, and I put it on the inside of the magnet there to hold it down, and I did the same. When you get the back of it, you put it on and then close it, and it'll attach itself to where it should be. This Fire Brigade set was a challenge for me, actually, to think up a card because it didn't have a lot of coloring space because it's a very sketchy stamp set. But it had the fire truck, a fireman, the fire hat, and these beautiful Dalmatians. And wait till you see in part 2 what I do with the Dalmatians. It is so crazy cute. And like I said, I'll have that up for you tomorrow. So here I'm making another piece to open up for the interactive part, and I'm trying to decide here, where am I going to put that? I know I'm not going to have it on the front because I need to have a front sheet, and it would eliminate the fact that I put that magnet there. So I knew it had to be on the inside, but I didn't know how I wanted it to flip. See that? Yes, and I didn't want to have too many folds on the front side either. So yeah, whenever you see my fingers tapping, I'm always having myself conversation on what I should do. I'm hanging on to that sheet, and I decide to go with flipping it around and putting it on that second part there. So I'll run some 1/2 inch tape down the side. I'll cut it off, and yep, I'm thinking again, and there you go. I decided to put it right there. I still have a 1/16 of an inch gusset, which made me really happy, and now I'm going to cut it off, and we will call it a 2-part gatefold card that doesn't meet. So now we have everything situated, and I cut out some gray, red, and yellow cardstock with some texture on it that we're going to use later. I took the Stampin' Up! Tag punches, and I punched out all the same colors and set them aside because I have a special purpose for that. And then I took this font, Thankful, die that came from Stampin' Up! Some time ago. I just love it. And I die cut it twice in black and once in white because I'm going to use my Copic air gun with my compressor, and we're going to make the white ombre like fire. We're going to have it like yellow, orange, and then red, and it's going to kind of have an ombre effect going up from light to dark. It looks quite pretty. So here I'm just setting it in the Vagabond, and we're going to move on. I'm just having it run through, and now I am going to clean up and start with my Dalmatians. There they are. They are crazy cute. So I grab my Versamark. There they are, really quickly. And I'm putting a little piece of paper under there so I don't get the Versamark all over the mat. And then I'm going to offset this, all of these little Dalmatian, and I decided that I'm going to use a bright silver embossing powder, which looks awesome. And then there's a gap there, but I'll take care of that after we heat set it. So here's the silver embossing powder. I get it all over the front. And yes, that was a message just came in from my sister. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can pick up and hear everything, can't you? So anyway, I'll keep editing here and I'll get back to her. So see that little space? What I do there is I heat it. I heat set the whole page. Look how bright that silver is on these little Dalmatians. And see what I mean when I say they were sketched out, very, not a lot of space in them. They're actually, it's quite a pretty set to use. And so I mask off to the left the row of Dalmatians with my mask, just holding it down. I didn't take the back off. And then I'll stamp it right there to get some more little doggies in there in the space. And then I'll add some, I'm just cleaning up my Versamark because it had a little stray. Oh, there she is. And she said, did everybody fall off the face of the earth? It's funny because all the sisters, we're all together on this message thing. Anytime any of us chat, all of us come up. So I guess my sister's looking to see who's on the internet. Yeah, just throwing that in for free. Anyhow, she's just asking how I am since I've been so sick. Checking in on me. So now we have the cover page done. I'm going to finish up with the thankful. I'm going to glue them down, so I need to glue the top and the bottom, and I decided to go with my Elmer spray glue. So I am going to grab some paper towel, put it down, and I'm going to run the thankful through on the white 120-pound cardstock, and then we're going to use the Copic air gun to get that transitional colored fire look on there. I think you'll really like it. And I'm running it through the Vagabond, and then I'm going to take some Glad peel and stick. You'll see how I do this. I take it out of the die, and then I keep the negative space there on the where I cut it out. I'm just taking the guts out of it there, and then I'm going to lay it back in where I just cut it off. And oh yeah, I'm looking for my pokey tool to get all the dots out. So I'm going to grab the negative space. I'm going to grab my Glad, I think it's peel and stick. And I write it down. Look at that. My sisters are gabbing up a storm and I don't know how to shut it down. See, there it is. It's press and seal. And you're going to use the sticky side up. It has a sticky side, which this works for picking up glitter. It works for this technique. So set the sticky side up and then put your the positive inside the negative here. And this is where we're going to spray our Copic colors. It's wonderful. I love the way the peel and stick sticky side holds the negative paper down, but it also holds the positive, the word thankful on the inside, so that I can Copic air with the wonderful Copics, of course. So here I am taking one of the Y. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it. Hopefully I get it on there. Yes. And this is the Y15. And I'm going to put that on the bottom. Yes, I'm holding it up there. Y15. And it's a beautiful bright yellow. And then I'm going to take the YR09, and it's going to be the next transition of color. I'm going to start it just a little bit. See how I clip it with the point to the top and the narrow part towards where the air is blowing out. And there you go. And then we're going to take that out, and we're going to use a red. And it's a very vibrant red. I really like this. It's an R27, and I'm showing it to you here in the gun. Isn't that funny? And I'm putting that on the top, and it's a wonderful look. It does look like fire, because we're doing a fireman card, right? In my case, it's a firewoman. And yeah, it's so pretty. Wait till I take it out of the space here. And then it just folds up and all your mess is contained. So you have that, and then we'll take out our wonderful word. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yellow, orange to red. And we're going to set that on top of the black so that the ghost effect of the black just sets it off wonderfully. Then it's sticky, you fold it and throw it in the garbage. Now, this is the part that I was just putting away my thankful die. Yes, I have all my Stampin' Up! Ones in that package there. So when I looked at this with all these Dalmatians, it was just too busy. It was too busy and it was too silver. Yes, and I thought, how am I going to tone this down? So I went looking for my Stampin' Up! Vellum, and I couldn't find it. But I found this plastic. It's from Recollections. Wait till I show it to you here. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's like the acetate recollection pad, and separating the acetate, the plastic sheets, is this vellum that has lines all over it. It's like a grid mark, and it's almost like it's like a wax paper, but it's different than anything I've ever seen. And I'm going to have to keep talking here because I don't know why I left it on so long staring at this, but isn't it, it's just overwhelming with all these little puppies in this silver. So I took my corner chomper here, my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. That's what I must have left to go look for. Had to walk around the island to get it. And yeah, I'm doing another think here, having a little soliloquy with myself where I'm just talking to myself. Okay, Carol, what are you going to do here? So as I'm looking for the other vellum, and I found this this paper, and I'm going to show it to you there. I think it's like it separates the plastic in the Recollections pad, and each I'm just taking out the wrinkle there. Each acetate has this type of vellum so that the acetate doesn't stick together. So I grabbed it, and then I took my ATG gun, my 1/2 inch, and I just ran it down and I put it over top because the 40-pound vellum is too thick and I lost the Dalmatians on the front of it. But this kind of wax paper with this grid on it, can you see the grid? Was perfect. It kind of masked that real harsh look of the silver, and it just was beautiful. And then I thought, I'm going to do the same ombre look, and you can do this with any inks. I decided to take out Distress inks, but there's the grid. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a beautiful waxed paper, and it's in between the Recollections pad that I get at Michael's. Here I'm just trying to fold down those edges. Remember, I punched it out with the We Are Memory Keepers. I did the corners. So I decided to take some of the glue dots and pull it down so that I didn't want to punch it out so that it wasn't secure on the edges, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to have it cut on the edges, so the glue dots worked perfectly. The reason why I chose to do the ombre look over top of this wax paper was, one, you would be able to see the dogs behind there because I'm adding color, and two, it brings out the grid in this wax paper, which is awesome. And like I said, you can use any inks. So for this, I took out the scattered straw for the yellow on the top. Look how wet. Oh, it's awesome. I just love Distress ink. Then I grabbed the marigold, the dried marigold, as the orange to get that fire look in it. And then I took the fired brick. Oh yeah, look at that. Yummy, isn't it? And then I grabbed some paper towels, put some underneath, and then I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up because the red will move up and brighten the orange, and then it'll move up and just go right into that yellow. It's just that, it honestly, it's gorgeous. I wish I didn't speed it up so much so you could see how those Dalmatians just stand out beautifully. And then you have that grid wax paper to give it some beautiful dimension. And it just worked out beautiful because it matches the Thankful. And here's that Recollection Craft Plastic, it's called. And in between the actual plastic sheets, the acetate, you have a sheet of this beautiful grid wax paper. So if you buy this at Michael's, you're going to get two for your buck there. You're going to get the wax paper and you're going to get the acetate. Isn't that awesome? Well, now we have the ombre on the front of the card with the Dalmatians underneath. It's so crazy pretty in real life, so vibrant. And then I'm going to put the Thankful down with the 2 black to give it some dimension. And I'm going to spray some of my Elmer's glue. And it kind of got yuckied up on the nozzle, so I'm just taking my pokey tool and cleaning it up, which that's all you have to do. You can expect that with spray glue if you don't clean it right away. And there you go. Just spray it with one little spray along there. And yeah, the first spray is always a little bit more gunkier. But yeah, it worked, and I put it down. And yep, works nice. Then I'm just taking my pokey tool to make sure that the letters are evenly spaced. And isn't it, oh, I just love the font on this. It's so, I don't know, happy. It's a happy font. And then I'm going to take out my quick stick. I'm telling you, if my sisters don't stop gabbing on this message thing and dinging, it's crazy. I can read what they're saying. I'm editing this video and I'm watching what they're saying to one another. It's hysterical. Yeah. So anywho, I apologize, but this is real, folks. Yeah. Now, I could have sprayed the next one as well and put it over top, but I just bought this quick stick. I haven't used it yet, and I wanted to see how it worked, and it works wonderfully. I went around the edges here to secure that bottom piece, and it comes out perfectly. I just love this stick. It's called Quick Stick, I think, and it comes out blue and then it dries clear. And so there you have it. I have both black sections, but then I do spray paint the ombre white right here. Spray paint, excuse me. Spray glue it because it worked out well. And then I offset it on the black to give it that little ghost effect. I didn't set it directly on top. I just put it on a slant and look at the dimension on that. And the beautiful colors, they just match perfectly. They really do on that wax paper. So now we're going to put that on the front. So now I took my chomper and I chomped the edges on the black card base as well. And I'm going to situate this because this is almost perfect measurement for the front. And as you can see the corners there, you can see them. So what I do is I put double-sided tape on the back so that it secured it well. Here it is my 1-inch. It actually could be 2-inch tape. I can't remember what I used there. Maybe the 1-inch. And then I'm going to take the backing off. You want to make sure it's nice and secure because it's going on the front. And yes, I am just getting ready for my Copic air gun again, my compressor, and we're going to make fire. I'm going to show you the We Are Memory Keepers embossing folder that looks like fire. It's awesome. You know, I'm going to use my Copics, the Y16 and the Y35 to get a vibrant yellow. And this is the We Are Memory Keepers. You know, the real, the new ones. And this is supposed to be water, waves, I think. But it makes it look like flames. It's absolutely wonderful. And I love using my air gun because this will come out looking exactly like fire. YR04 and the YR06 for my oranges, and you're going to follow the emboss. And see, I did it up and down, and It's beautiful. And then I use the R27, the R37, and the R59 as my reds. And I am just following these wonderful lines in the We Are Memory Keepers embossing folder. It's the new puffy ones that are really deep set. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, if it ever got it. Yeah, and it's supposed to look like water. But when you use it and you direct your Copic pens in the direction of the actual watermarks it's supposed to be, it looks like flames, doesn't it? And I have a Harley, and I tell you what, you could make some money on this here. Getting your flames on your Harley. Yeah, it's beautiful. Make a lot of Harley cards with this. Oh yeah, I love it. You can always tell when, oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to show you that We Are Memory Keepers embossing folder. It's beautiful. And talk about waves. You can use that for the ocean, or you can use it right here for flames. It's gorgeous. And you can always tell when I edit really late at night, can't you? Yeah. And I have a lot of fun. I sure missed making cards for the last 3 weeks. I think it's been since I've been so ill. But I had a fun day today, I tell you. So here I took the fire truck in the right-hand corner, and I'm using my VersaFine black ink because you get a beautiful image with that. And I'm going to use the clear embossing powder, and we're going to heat set that, and wait till you see what I do with this page tomorrow on part 2. It really does come alive. And doesn't that look like flames? I can't stop staring at it. It just looks beautiful. And I tell you, I was struggling with what kind of card to make with this because it is so different. It's so sketchy and just a different style of a stamp set, but I absolutely love it. Look at that. And the way it separates itself, it's beautiful in the flames. I love it. So then I'm just cleaning it off with my cleaner there, that wipe. That thing is wonderful. I tell you what, I just love it. Yeah, see my hand? They had so many intravenous things going through my hands. I have so many bruises. Oh, I tell you what. And that was just in the ambulance taking me to the hospital. They had me rigged up. Oh my. But that's a story for another time. Yeah, see my hand? Oh my. Yes, I'm just thankful to be here and be making this card actually. So anyway, there's the fireman, firewoman in my case, and it's just gorgeous, and it matches the front here. I am just so thrilled. There it is on the inside. Doesn't that look like flames? And all of the colors, I'm just folding it, they just match so perfectly. Well, my friends, I'm home from the hospital. I'm on bed rest, and I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm looking forward to a lot of projects, and I have some wonderful surprises in store for you after I get this card finished, and we will share that together. I'm very thankful for my subscribers. Thank you very much for always being there to view my videos and to comment. Your wonderful comments, they sure do encourage me. And I'm going to leave you with some pictures here. And I'm thankful to be home, and my bronchial pneumonia is getting better every day. Well, we'll see you tomorrow on part 2, finishing up the card. Thank you for joining me, and you have yourself a blessed evening. See you on part 2.